It's been a year, almost to the exact day, since I tasted an Auchentoshan Bartender's Malt. That was the first edition. This here is the Auchentoshan Bartender's Malt second edition, and there's a little 2 right here on the label stating that. This is the second edition. So I'm going to try this, and maybe I've started a new kind of what you'd call tradition by trying this just before Advent and the Advent calendar, and the video will go up right after Advent. Last year's went up on the 26th of December. This one should go up on the 25th of December, being recorded on the 23rd of November. And the other one last year was recorded on the 24th of November. So it's like been a year, almost exactly to the day. This has some dust on it because it's been under my bar since the 2nd of February 2019. So 2nd of February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 9 months I've had this. Almost 10. So let's give this a go. It's 50% alcohol by volume, 750 milliliter bottle. Auchentoshan Bartender's Malt. It cost me $61.49. So that would be with a $10 bottle deposit, at $6.15 for liquor tax, $3.07 for GST, that's goods and services tax in Canada, and out the door price of $70.81. So if you got $70, it was not enough to buy this. You needed another 81 cents. They would have rounded it down to 80. It would have been okay. So if you had 8 dimes on top of $70, you would have been all right. Anyway, enough of that bullshitting around. Let's see what it says on the box. But first, before I see what it says on the box, I'm going to pour myself a dram of this Auchentoshan. Last year's edition was just fantastic. I enjoyed it a lot. I generally like Auchentoshan. Oh, good pops tonight. Very good pops tonight. And there we go. That's a hefty dram. Now, while I let that sit for a few minutes, it says Auchentoshan single malt whiskey, Scotch whiskey, and on the back, or this, yeah, Bartender's Malt Annual Limited Edition '02, New Malt Order, whatever that is. A bold and versatile malt crafted by 12 innovative bartenders who join the banks of the New Malt Order. Okay. Created by the New Malt Order. So these guys, that's their names and signatures down there. What's it say on the back here? By bartenders for bartenders. In September 2017, for the second time in our history, 12 innovative bartenders from around the world came together in Glasgow to create the second edition of the Bartender's Malt. That would be this one here. And yeah, it's been a little more than a year since I've had it. Since it was released, and I've had it almost a year. They learned the science and magic of creating a single malt whiskey from our master blender and selected casks that reflected each of their individual personalities. The result is this unique collaboration, a single malt Scotch whisky created by the bartender for the bartender. The New Malt Order is a in 2018, created by 12 new malt order bartenders from across the globe. Okay. Tasting, the nose, the tongue, 750 mils, 50% alcohol by volume. Okay. We will taste it, or I will taste it myself and let you know what I get. It says the same thing on the back of the bottle as it does on the box. Great. This is a Lowland triple distilled Scotch, bottled at 50% alcohol by volume. Should be good. Oh, right away, I get fruits. I get grapes. I get wine, sherry, berries and grapes. Along with berries and grapes, there's some vanilla. Oh, rich sherry notes. This is a lot like where did I get that recently? Oh yeah. So I'm getting some sherry notes like prunes and raisins and figs and grapes. And there's other things creeping in there too. There's vanilla. There's a bit of chocolate. Yeah, a bit of chocolate, bit of that Tootsie Roll chocolate. Ah, toffee, caramel. There is quite a lot going on here. This is blended from several different casks. And I was in the store earlier tonight, and it was still available on the shelf. Not too expensive, 70, what did I say, 80 bucks? Yeah, $70. $70.81. Yeah. Ah. And just going by the color. Yeah, if it's uncolored, there's a lot of wine and sherry involved. And look at those legs. Fantastic legs. I'm just looking at the edge on the top. The edge is just sitting there. See that edge? Oh. And now the drops are forming. Where are we? There. And moving down slowly. Some viscosity to this with 50% alcohol by volume. Bit of an alcohol burn on this. It's a non-age statement. I'm getting dark fruity notes. and some chocolate. I'm going to try this again with a second sip. Maybe a smaller sip this time because that was pretty potent. Oh, nice slippery alkaline mouthfeel. Bit of a burn. I'm getting all kinds of flavors here. I'm getting, what is it I'm getting? I'm getting that fortified wine flavor. I'm getting a bit of an alcohol burn. I'm getting a tingling all around the edge of my tongue. Getting a bit of chocolate now in the aftertaste. And it's coating the mouth. It's coating the mouth with a little bit of hay. It reminds me of hay. Do that again. Yeah, there's some cocoa powder that's kind of comes through between all of the casks, the fruity casks that were used. Ex-sherry and probably some ex-bourbon in there too. Oh. I'm getting tired. Bit of a cereal note, but it's not very prevalent. On the nose, once again, I'm getting cocoa powder and dark fruits. Bit of a burn. I think the nose is opening up now. It's nicer than it was. There's red currants along with the grapes. Yeah, medium to dark fruits. Not getting, well, maybe a little bit of plums. Grapes, berries. There's a cocoa note again. That chocolate. And there it is again. Cocoa, chocolate with berries. What are the berries? Raspberries. It's got some complexity to it. There's a lot going on here. I'm not sure that I can detect everything that is coming in on the nose. But it's definitely interesting. Oh, yeah, you can tell it's got a high ABV. But not too high to make it good. vanilla, cocoa powder, currants, grapes, dark fruits, dried fruits, dark fruits. Oh, vanilla and fruits mixed together. Then again, the cocoa powder again. This is just lovely. One more taste. Tootsie Rolls and berries, and in the finish there's hay. Like bales of hay. Weird. Very different. I'm going to give this some water. See if that changes the flavor at all. It probably will, well, bring the ABV down a tiny little bit, down to about 48 or 49%. That might be what it needs. Because this is a potent liquid. I mean, 50% is getting up there. That's on the higher end of the Goldilocks zone, where things are still palatable and the alcohol doesn't quite act as an anesthetic, taking away what you're tasting. Because there's additive maturation where the wood adds to the flavor of the whiskey, and there's subtractive maturation where the wood takes away flavors from the whiskey. And there's the same thing that happens with the alcohol content. When the alcohol content is below about 51% alcohol by volume, it brings on more flavor, at least for a Scotch. Bourbon's a different story. But for Scotch, it brings on more flavor, up to about 51, 52%. When the percentage of alcohol by volume is above 52% with Scotch anyway, it starts to take away the flavors, and you don't taste so much because the alcohol is acting as a anesthetic, taking away what you taste rather than adding to it. I don't know why it works differently with bourbon. I mean, a bourbon is only getting into its stride at about 50%. And then, when you're going towards cask strength, 60% or so, that's when the bourbon gets good. And then when it's even higher, when it's like 65%, my gosh. I think that's where the George T. Stagg was that I tried a couple of years ago. But Scotch works differently, or at least in my limited experience. This one, now I'm getting cherries on the nose. Maybe it just needed that little bit of water to open it a tiny little bit. Yeah. The more I nose this, the more delicious it gets. It will be interesting to see how this bottle fares as the level goes down. This is just a neck pour. When the level goes down, it's going to be interesting. It's the kind of thing I would use to finish a flight, perhaps. Starting at 40%, going to something that has 43%. From 43 going to 46, and then a 48 perhaps, and then this 50%. Yeah, it's quite fruity. Quite fruity now on the nose that I've added the water. Maybe more so than it was. It seems that the chocolate note that I was getting on the nose seems it's not as strong as it was. That is, if it's there at all. Yeah, I think I'm getting some of it. Now there's a bit of cherry coming in that wasn't there before. Very fruity. Very fruity and still got high ABV, a little bit of a tingle. Coats the mouth. Coats the mouth all over. And it's not woody at all. It's just fruity. Fruity and coats the mouth. And it just lingers on, lingers on. That fruity finish. The fruits are kind of indistinct. It's hard to, it's kind of berries and kind of fruits, and I can't say exactly that it's plums, and I can't say exactly that it's grapes, and I can't say exactly that it's raspberries. I can't say exactly, but it's somewhere in between all of those. It's just indistinct fruits, and a lot of fruits. Now on the nose, there's that cocoa powder again. Interesting. Cocoa powder mixed with fruits. Indistinct. Berries and fruits. Fresh, medium fruits, not exactly dark and not exactly dry, but ripe. Am I getting raisin at all? Well, grape, not quite dried out to the point of being raisins. This gets better with every sip. The question is it because I'm getting more inebriated? Or is it getting better while it's opening up? And it's had some water in it too. This is an interesting whiskey. I like it so far. And it's been getting better as it's been in the glass. Well, I can't really expound on this much further. So, slancheva.
Foodquig.
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 Yeah.